Hello, 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 and welcome to Beauty Pioneers. How is everybody doing? I'll be shocked if you guys, I didn't even put an announcement out that we was going live, but yes, we are live today. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully, um, Dawn will be able to make it on the live. Um, but we are going to get started. Now, and how's everybody doing? So before let me just go ahead and say this as well. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? I just thought about it. Gotta make sure you guys can hear me well. I think you can. So hold on real quick. All right, let me skip that. So let me see. Okay, yeah, you guys can hear me. So I have been on not necessarily hiatus, but I think I told you guys a couple of weeks ago that I had an accident. And so I've been in therapy and things like that. So that's why you guys haven't been seeing me. And then we had a lot of different events happening each weekend. Last weekend was Dawn's 20th anniversary with her husband. So, of course, we did not go live. That probably won't ever happen again, guys. So please accept our apologies, or definitely my apologies. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get started. And today I started off at on Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist because I had to do a video, but I was really paying attention. We had this event that we went to. It was called Hats Off in Miami. It was by Tracy Morning, that has had this event. I think they're called the Sunshine, where they, donate to young ladies, college, and don't make me go into it because I'll mess the whole thing up. But I was paying attention. Don and I, we were, we had to do. It was like the theme was Hollywood themes, and so of course everybody was dressed differently, which was really really cool. I love the diversity, and I just saw some. I was just paying attention to the hairstyles and different things like that. And one of the things I noticed, I was like, man, it seems like when you get to a certain level that I saw young girls that embrace their natural hair. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, and I'm thinking about it today. I was like, what is it like for um what was it like before, when Black women, when we didn't have wigs or weaves? And so I thought about that. I wanted to talk about that. But then one of the things that stuck out to me the most was the young girls that embrace their natural hair and so on and so forth. And I know I'm just want to put a little twist on it so we can be welcome into the environment of when I'm doing these lives and you hear me talk about things like that. It's different when you get to actually see and the person tells you what they went through. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start the first video off. It's actually kind of funny, but I'm going to start the first video off like this. Hold on a quick second. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can take this off. Take that off. Okay, good. All right, give me a second here. Let's go ahead and start it off with the first video. I thought was
When I was
cute.
in middle school, I got bullied for my hair. Mind you, I had a relaxer, but it was just blow dried and it wasn't straightened. So one day in the lunch line, these two girls, they were talking, and one said, and yes, they were. One of them said, has she ever heard of a flat iron? And it affected me, I can't lie. I was very timid as a child, and I just kind of put my head down and I never wanted to wear my hair out again. But this girl happened to show up on my suggested friends on Facebook, and I said, oh, look. So I went to her page, and guess what? She married a Black man and has mixed children with puffy hair. Also turns out that she has a TikTok. And yes, I went and looked. The little girl's adorable, but her hair was not done. So I commented and said, oh, she's so cute. Maybe you should do something with her hair, though. Flat iron it or something. Checkmate, bitch. 15 years in the making.
Okay. So I don't know what it's doing because right now it's not letting me hear you guys, but she was basically, and I thought it was a really cool video because she was like, they were picking on her because, she was this girl with natural hair. And of course, they were of another race. And lo and behold, they loved the Black man. And so what happened? She had her daughter, like karma came around many years later, but it came around. And I thought that was cute that she got her get back to her bullies, because they're kind of like bullies to me, picking on her when it came to that situation. So a lot of us, I remember growing up where, either you had hair or you didn't have hair, and it didn't really matter. I mean, it wasn't such a big deal. I think it was a big deal to the girls who were struggling with not having hair. And I didn't know it was such a big deal until as time went on and as we're getting older, you kind of notice things and like, hey, what the heck? This thing is really, really serious. Like, kids are out there getting bullied. You know what I mean? So, hold on, guys. Trying to see what's going on. So I'm going to play this next video for you guys, and hopefully Dawn will come on. I'm not really sure she's able to, because I wasn't able to speak to her. But let's go ahead and start off with this one here. Hold on.
I'm seeing all the little middle school girls outside with wigs on their hair. And let me tell y'all this, that's what it started. My damage started right when I was in middle school. I was putting all this weave, I was putting perms in my hair. And yeah, my mama, she was that girl. She allowed me to be who I was. And she also allowed me to express myself while doing my hair. But little did I know it was going to be the start of my hair never being the same. So this was the first side of my hair that became really damaged. This is the most hair I have ever seen on my follicles. And I had put a glue in my hair. And when I say this was all completely bald, I don't know where any of this hair came from. It just came in one day and started growing in. Here go one side. This side isn't as bad. But let me tell y'all this. What they not telling y'all is them wigs, they too heavy for our scalp. That material that's on the inside of them wigs, that stuff is causing so much friction to the point where it's damaging our follicles. And we ain't talking about that. Also, them weaves that y'all be putting in y'all hair, them braids and stuff, yeah, they may be cute, but they're also tugging at our follicles. And what I don't understand is, why are these little middle school girls walking around with lace front wigs on? Don't y'all know that's where it all starts? They start them off young. They soaking in all these compliments and everybody telling them, oh, you look good. Not only that, they getting male attention too. So they get so used to it. They get so dependent on it because they not used to people giving them compliments. When they wore their natural hair, ain't nobody tell them how beautiful they was. Now all of a sudden they got this straight long hair and everybody on them. That was me. The men started talking to me. The boys started talking to me because I got no attention when I was in elementary school. I wasn't pretty at all. I didn't get pretty until I got to high school and I started putting wigs and weave on my hair. It starts off at a young age. It gets to a point where they start damaging their hair. And then they got to constantly keep putting wigs on because now they're embarrassed of how their hair look. Now their hairline is messed up, so they can't go outside without it. The damage get worse. And then in beauty supply stores, they just getting richer and richer. They putting chemicals in the hair. No matter how much you wash it, the chemical is still there. Because no matter if you feel like, oh, that would never be me. All it takes is for one person to get in your hair and to damage your hair forever. But this message is really for all the mamas out there. Please teach y'all daughters how to love themselves without the wigs and the weaves in their hair. So y'all can save them from a lifetime of pain. This is a bunch of pain. Because baby, I'm 30 years old and I'm just now learning how to love myself and my hair.
Wow. Wow. That right there, y'all. That's some heavy stuff. And I've put up a video like that before, but I wanted you guys, for you, especially the mommies, because this is what the video is really for. Because when you think about life, that we give life, that God blessed us to bless our wombs for many of us, that we're able to give life. And part of our job is, especially when you think about the Proverbs 31, it's actually a mother telling her son what kind of woman that he should have. I think it's King Lemuel, right? And so when you think about that, it is our job as moms. This is the first place that a child receives love should be from the parents, the mother and the father. But the mother job is to nurture the child, to impart in the child, give them their identity, instead of a lot of us that go out in the world and look for our identity. It is really like the mother's job. And so when you think about that and you go into depth about it, and you're like, man, that's my responsibility, you kind of understand that you're actually the one that's shaping that child's life. I think they say from age 1 to 5 is the most impactful time in a child's life. Like they're like sponges, and we're actually shaping it. So, however we come into a child's life, how we handle our children, it's kind of based on us, unless they had different circumstances where they had to be raised by aunts, uncles, godparents, grandmas, or whatnot. It's a different situation. But as a mother, the reason why I'm kind of really talking about this and honing in on it is because in 2026, many of our children, our girls, don't know about natural hair. They only know about hair, wigs and weaves. That's what the young lady was saying. And now she's 30. So that probably happened when she was like 15, maybe 15, 18 years ago, right? That her mom allowed her to wear the extensions. Her mom was like many of us, like, yes, baby, get your identity, be free, want to express yourself with your hair extensions. And by no means, this is not, let me just say this before I move on. This is not a thing to be like, I hate weave and this and that. No, it's not about that. It's not about shaming women. It's not about Black women. It's not about that. But what it is about is to bring awareness. Because when we look at the statistics, we're having children as early as the age, young ladies as early as the age of 2 years old, that are getting installations, that are adding braids to their hair with canacolon hair that, of course, has carcinogen in. So when we pay attention to what we're doing and we bring it to light, it really, really helps us understand that this is bigger than what you may think it is. So let's fast forward, or let's rewind back when we think about kids are getting out of school, so they got to get braids, right? Our girls, ain't nobody gonna be bothered with their hair. I got to go to work. Now these kids at home, I got to feed them. I understand, I get it. I went through it too, right? Or now it's the first day of school. Now you got to find someone to do the hair, braid the hair, all those different things as well. I'm going to go on the record and say that me personally, I do not agree with women. You do what you want to do because those are your children, but I don't agree with women, mothers, or even fathers who are there to raise their kids as well. Sometimes the mother's not in the picture. I don't agree with kids that young getting extensions in their hair, not just for the psychological reasons of you're telling that child like, hey, that God gave you that hair is bad. So you're already putting that in their head, like always go out and look for other hair because the hair that you grow is no good. Or the other part is the child hair follicles are not strong enough for much less chemicals, and neither are they strong enough for chemical treated hair that we're putting in the kids' hair. And now it's gotten to the point, and I know you've seen, I had a video up, and it was showing about how kids as young as 2 years old, little girls, where they're getting lace front wig, the baby's crying, you put an adhesive on a baby's head, just stunting their hair growth, stunning their follicle. Like now the follicle is not able, it's damaged because now you're putting hair glue on a baby. The baby still have baby hair, like real baby hair, not the grown people baby hair. She really got baby hair. We're putting glue. Ladies, Black women are putting glue on their edges and laying down wigs. So guess what? And it was a blonde and brown wig. So guess what? From that baby looked like she was more than 1 or 2 years old. I got to remember the name of the video, but it's in there where you see the application and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, my God, she already has an identity of self-hate. So that is a big thing, much less the physical thing that it affects. Like this young lady said, teach your kids to love themselves, your daughters, at a very young age, because this is a lot of pain. And she's showing you the pain that manifested, but inside it took her a long time to accept herself, to realize that she had inner beauty and she was beautiful on the outside. She went through all that because her mom did like most of her moms do today, where it's like, honey, I don't have time. I'm not going to be doing your hair every week. I used to do my daughter's hair every week. I never added hair in there until she got into junior high, and I added like piece of blue. She liked blue and purple, like right in the front, the little bang area, just like a little small piece of whatever, to blend it with her hair, which she had long hair. But I never did that because she knew one thing my daughter knows is that she has beautiful hair. We have told her that. Her dad and I have told her that over and over again. She's an adult now, right? She'll be 28 this year. But the point that I'm making is that she had her identity. She didn't struggle. Now, she did struggle with her color, but that part, when it came to her hair, and then I had to work on her with her color being dark, a beautiful dark skinned young lady, I had to work on that too. So we already are coming in a negative with this. So I wanted you guys to see that video to understand that this young lady is telling you, it took me to the age, she's turning 30 or she's 30 years old, and she's just identifying with herself 30 years later. So imagine, I want you guys to think, because I know a lot of you are watching this video, right? You're going to watch this video at one time or the other. My videos are timeless, right? And one day you think about your daughter and think about the things that you're doing now. If you can stop it and change it now, I would advise you to just stop it and change it. You know, if your child is still young, and I would advise you to there's so many other things that you could do to that baby hair for her to embrace it. So it's really, really up to us. We hold the power until they turn 18. They're going to do the same pattern that they're taught. And then guess what? As years go on, that same generational curse will go on. Young ladies at age from 6 to 10 years old are experiencing hair loss. These are dermatologists stating that they're noticing a high rate of Black little babies, young girls, that are experiencing hair loss between the ages of 6 and 10. It's not an alopecia, not that form of alopecia where they're born with it. This is self-induced. This is mommy-induced, relative-induced, friend-induced. Whoever is doing the extensions is being induced by you. And then for junior high, for middle school kids, it's from ages 11 to 14. Now these little girls are wearing straight out blown lace front wigs. They can lay it on. They doing it for their moms. The moms got it on, and the daughters got it going on. And there's nothing. I always tell you, if you want to wear extension, want to wear weave, that is your prerogative. You do what you want to do. But I always ask, just take care of your hair, right? So let's go ahead and we're going to go to the next one. Hold on. And I want you guys to tell me, you can always comment in the comment section.
What I would have did differently when I was younger is to take more care of the hair that God gave me, the stuff that's growing out of my head. Like, when I was in school, when I was younger and stuff, oh my God, the way I used to trash my hair just to put some tricks in, just to put a wig on, the way that I would neglect my hair to put somebody else's hair on my head is crazy. To the point where I would be ripping my hair out to rip out the tricks that I put in my head, ripping my hairline off. Like, now I really don't fool with that no more. Like, and I don't have nothing against it, because I know y'all gonna get in my comments talking about, oh, let's stop shaming Black women's hair. I'm not shaming nobody's hair. I'm just saying, you will regret it, okay? You will regret it. And another thing that had threw me off, why I really don't fool around with like tricks and all that and wigs and all that. One day I had went to the hair store and I'm looking at the tricks, you know, I'm ready to do me a little bob or whatever. And the Chinese lady had came over there. She was like, oh yeah, that's good hair. That's good hair. That's good hair. It's $50. Da-da-da. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I don't have hair on my head. Like, what am I doing? That should be my main focus, is the hair that's growing out of my scalp. Okay? That should be my main focus, is the hair that...
Now, she definitely said something powerful and heavy there, y'all. She was like, what am I doing? I have hair on my head. Let me get the knowledge of my hair. You know, it's something that that I've been dealing with, right? And I'm sure many of you have been dealing with. when we're talking about being in relationship with others. Doesn't necessarily have to be a man, but I always use that as an example. And a lot of times we're so busy, I look at social media and women are on there like, men don't know how to treat a woman, they're broken, and we're saying all this stuff, and like, what happened to and then they have this one where they're showing like the women are bringing flowers, say when he want to be like a woman, when he's sassy, those different things. But I oftentimes, as I gotten older, I've oftentimes have thought to myself and say, well, what do I really want? And I have this good guy friend that says his granddad told him that you can never please a woman. You know what I mean? And he was using all these like bizarre ways that you could please anything else but a woman, because we don't know really what we want. We think we know what we want. You know what I mean? A lot of times we don't know. And a lot of times we don't know what we want is the simple fact is that we have not taken the time out to learn ourselves. So a lot of times you're jumping from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship. You've never taken time out to get to know and take care of yourself. Therefore, when you start taking care of yourself, meaning self, what does that look like? Self-improvement, videos, therapy, if it gets to that point, accountability, having an accountability partner, exercise, eating well, all those different things until we can get to that, and being comfortable with being by yourself. It is really okay. You're not a bad person, and nobody, who cares what anybody's thinking. It's okay to enjoy being by yourself, taking yourself out on dates and things like that. And I know I'm kind of like spinning off of it, but the reason why I'm saying this is that so many women, you have never taken the time to study your own hair, much less get into a relationship with somebody and hoping that they can read your mind and say, that's how I should treat her as a man, as a friend, anything like that, right? So the first thing we have to do is learn about ourselves, learn the inside, internally. And I'm going to be doing a lot of videos dealing with our psychology and why we're making the decisions we're making, because I'm one of those people, I'm big on what's the reason. Because if you figure out the reason, then you can work towards the reason, right? And so what I'm saying is that you guys, I see it all the time. The synthetic wigs and I brushed it out and look at how bouncy it is. You guys are more proud of the wigs and the weaves, and you dare not show your own hair. And I think that that is a red flag, a major issue. To be honest, I think that if you're dealing with somebody, anybody, whether it's a friendship or a male, I find myself lately that when I'm talking to an individual, if I'm peeping that they are all over the place and they don't even know who they are, they have no identity, I tend to not want to have a relationship with them, because that's a lot of work, right? Because then you're trying, you go into people pleasing because you don't know yourself. So you're trying to please the other person, whoever that is. You're trying to please them. You haven't even learned your own self. You don't even know what you like. You don't know what your deal breakers are. You don't know what your hair likes. You don't know if your hair, you don't even know the texture of your hair. You don't know if you have fine hair, medium hair. You don't know if you have thick hair. You think you do. You don't even know if you're allergic to the adhesives that you put on your hair to put the lace fronts on. You never taken the time to learn that. Some of you are wearing wigs and never washed the hair. I have a video where it was a Caucasian lady say when she orders her hair, she washes the hair, and she talked about the silicone base, the chemicals that are on the hair. And she said, I have to wash it because, it has all those chemicals because of the chemical wash, right? So that's a lot of chemicals. A lot of us, I'm just going to be real, a lot of you don't. You go right to that beauty supply store, you buy the hair, and you have somebody sew it on, right? And then you're wondering, I'm breaking out. My hair, my scalp is itching. And you never took the time to realize or understand, like, man, maybe I'm allergic to this. You will keep getting the hair and just dealing with it instead of saying to yourself, maybe I need to go see a dermatologist and see what I can and cannot deal with. Maybe I'm allergic to things. Dawn, if you listen to Dawn a lot, and Dawn is a celebrity hairstylist, makeup artist, and all of us, we all hold all of those licenses, esthetician, all those different things. We're cosmetologists. But she breaks out over the simplest things. She makes her own product, her own makeup line, and she has those issues. But she understands it because she takes the time out. She invests in herself to find out what is it that my body can take and what my body can't. And a lot of you are not doing that. And then a lot of you are introducing that to your young girls. So you take that weave, you put it out there. I brought 12 packs, braid her hair up. The next thing you know, she got all kind of bumps in her head, and you don't know because you've never taken the time out. So you're teaching your daughter and your son that they don't need to take the time out and take care of themselves. We take care of everybody else, but you don't have to take care of yourself. And then that's where the people pleasing come from. That's where the low self-esteem comes from. So many things happen in that. And that's something that we have to focus on, ladies. So I know you guys don't want to hear these videos or whatever, but we have to speak the truth in order to get to the proper place. Now, that last video, that young lady wasn't saying, oh God, weave is the devil. But what she was saying, what she wished she would have done when she started wearing hair extension was to remember to take care of her hair, to take care of herself. That's all Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist asks you guys to do. I know y'all be like, but yeah, that's all I'm asking. I'm like, take care of yourself. So now I'm going to play a couple of more videos. I will not keep you guys long today since I don't have my Don here to kind of elaborate a little bit more. We got 2 more videos and we'll be done.
You don't think, but wait, you don't think that what you just said is anti-black? I just want to know, because I will get my people to tell you and or correct me if you don't think that what you just said is anti-black. Yes, it is. You said that you wish that you had, like, you wish that one of your parents were from a Hispanic country so that you can have your hair out all the time. But what I'm saying is you could still have the same texture. It's texturous, what you just said. But you could still have the same texture of hair if you were Guatemalan, Mexican, Colombian, anything. You could still have that same texture of hair. It's not going to, no guarantee just because you have Latino blood that you're going to have long to your waist, silky, soft, curly, blah, blah, blah.
I guess you had to chop it off.
It doesn't matter about you getting distracted. What I'm saying is, what you just said is rooted in anti-blackness, and you should work on that.
Well, all I said was that I wished that, like, I had, like, straighter hair.
You know what you sound like right now?
Like silky hair.
Do you know what you sound like right now?
No.
A white racist. All I said was,
I don't
take a moment and ponder.
I don't know what ponder means.
Think.
Absolutely loved that conversation between her and her little sister. You could tell the little girl is very, very young. And here is, if we pay attention to the videos that I posted, if you look at it for what it is, right? That started very young. This is a manifestation from when the child was 2 years old and we were putting hair braids in the hair and lace fronts on the hair and extensions, all these different things. That started that young. So guess what? The little girl says now sounds like she's probably 12 and under. She's saying, nah, I wish I can get another race. If I had another race, a person, Hispanic person, then I have curly, long, flowy hair. Now, I live in Miami, Florida. I have some black Afrocentric friends that they all don't have long, flowy hair. Even if they blow dry their hair straight, they just don't have that kind of hair. You know what I mean? They have tight, coily hair. So, but the mindset of the little girl is she doesn't even want her hair. She rejects her hair. She doesn't want to even acknowledge her hair. and she wishes that she had someone else's hair in her head. So guess what that's going to equal up to? And she's not the only child. I had friends that I knew that felt the same way. I knew people that said they wanted to have babies from another race so their children can have good hair. I know someone that was very, very close to me. That was a guy that he actually felt that way. He did not want children from a black woman. He only wanted children. That's a whole nother conversation. He relished in the fact that he felt good in the fact to know that his children had what they call good hair. To me, good hair is having hair. But when we have self-hatred and we struggle with our own issues, we think that other race of people are better than us. And that's the sad part about it. But that didn't start with that little girl that day. That was put in her from a younger age. And that is the thing that we have to be able to pay attention to and understand, that how we are as mothers, how we are and how we're teaching our girls, this is where their mindset is. And so what does that mean? When she gets older, she's going to be getting, let me get some Brazilian hair. Oh, I only do curly hair. That's all she's going to want, because in her mind, that's probably what she feels makes her pretty. If you listen to the first video, the girl said the guys started liking me, and the men, they was telling me I wasn't pretty till I started putting weave in my hair. That's what they're thinking, because what we're pushing onto our young girls. All right. And so I got one more video. We're going to chit chat about that, and then we will be done. All right. And give me one moment. Let me see if I can pull that up. Or did it? Was that the last one? Oh, no. This is a great one. I love this video. I'm really excited to show this one. Okay. Give me 1 second.
I really don't think it's emphasized enough just what it takes to get from this to this and follow the course when you really want to give up. Georgie got sister locks going into her 7th grade year. Well, the summer of her 8th grade year, she combed them out. And because of the process of sister locks, she had to big chop her hair. She had never seen her hair that short, and she struggled, especially as an 8th grader. We put her on a moisture regimen, because while we get to length, we have to focus on moisture and getting her edges back. Now, a big struggle for her was she just did not feel cute in the styles she needed to get the moisture back in her hair. Now, to be on a moisture regimen, you have to shampoo and condition once a week. So in order to do that, you want to do simple styles. So this was the process of her learning how to shampoo, condition, and detangle her own hair, and figuring out what it is that you put in the hair after that to keep the moisture in the hair for that whole week. So she experimented with different styles. And let me tell you, she really wasn't feeling this because she felt like her texture and her length was just way too short for what she felt comfortable with. But sister girl tried and tried. She went through our September challenge and learned how to style her hair as well as the right products to use. But there were days she felt defeated, days where she just wanted to say, forget it, just give me a cute style. I don't care about my health anymore.
People at the school like more like your texture.
It's cute. It is cute. What do we need to do to get past this texture and length issue?
Just show up and be confident.
That's it.
Now, we know that's easier said than done, and she did not like her wash and go. So she went back to her twist, but she tried it, and she continued to do different things until she got comfortable with it, until she actually started seeing results. When she started seeing those results, then she started really getting the grasp of why it's so important to take care of her natural hair and why it's important for her to learn it for herself and have her own hands in it, because she understood the process. And then I'm here to support her and teach her along the way.
I don't feel like doing them again because I feel like they never stay. So, yeah, I might just quit the edges. I might just shave them off.
Okay, well, she didn't shave them off, but you can see she drew back so much on them because she was able to see what damage they were doing to her hairline. And what I was saying to her was finally starting to make sense. So moms, don't give up. Keep encouraging your daughters. Keep showing them that they're beautiful in their natural way. And I guarantee it will pay off.
Girl.
Love y'all. Absolutely. I just love that. That is a clear understanding and way, if you an example of how we should be teaching our young girls to do their hair, to invest in themselves. The mother was a great example all the way through. And I wanted you guys to see too in that video, as it went further to the end, she actually had hair extensions. But the key point that she was taught was to take care of her own hair. Now, her mother was there to guide her along the way as she was a kid, but she had already instilled in her that your hair is natural, you're beautiful, walk in confidence, right? So these are the things that she did. She didn't implement hair extensions and weaves. She worked with her daughter and she taught her daughter knows her hair. That young lady already knows about her hair, right? So if she wants to, and the hairstyles that she is doing for herself, absolutely beautiful. Now, if she decides, you know what, I want to wear some extensions, she has that right to do it. But I guarantee you one thing, she won't leave it in there for months at a time because she want to get back to her hair. When she's dating someone or when she's dating for marriage or whatever the case may be, that person is going to have to love her natural hair. She's not going to be changing it for the man. She's going to wear it because that's what she likes, because she walks in that confidence. And because her mother taught her at such a young age how to love herself, how to take care of herself, how to give herself self-love, guess what? That young lady is going to attract that because she feels that what she has, it comes from within. So when I'm talking, this is a clear example for me. When I'm explaining to you guys what it looks like, when I say it's okay to wear hair extensions, it's okay to wear wigs, but take care of your hair. That young lady, that story with the mother who did a great job and her was a great example of what I mean. But I guess because she had someone tell her at such an early age, and teach her how to love her hair and everything and how to take care of it. That little girl did her hair. The mom provided the products that she needed. She did all of the work. She said, we're doing a moisture treatment. The mother knew what the child needed. You know how the mother knew? The mother, same way. And guess what? The mother studied and made sure her child had the same understanding. That is the key point. She created good habits before anything. And I'm not singing praise like, oh my gosh, you guys are horrible. I know that's only one story of a million. There's not, all of us are not, you know, intentionally doing hairstyles and doing that because we hate our children, our little girls. No, a lot of us are doing it because we need convenience. We need someone to be able to do our child's hair. A lot of us are working full-time jobs. A lot of us got to come home. We got to cook. We got to clean. A lot of us are in single parent homes. A lot of us may be married, but that husband may be on the road. A lot of things may fall on the woman, right? She's running the household. I understand, but it has to be a way. Like you see how that young lady did. She was like, her mom was like, you know, and she'd look at her hair. And the little girl, that last hairstyle she had the baby hair. She had the edges. She had to teach the little girl. She said, you heard at the end, she said, I had to tell her, you have to figure out you can't wear that style because it's going to take out your edges. Little girl saw that and she changed it. She changed it. So all I'm saying to you ladies, with Beauty Pioneers tonight, I am saying to you ladies to dare yourself to do better, to challenge yourself, to give your daughters a chance to love on themselves. Because a lot of times when we're teaching them things like that, and it may sound simple like, oh, Lisa, please, Coach Lee, it's just a hairstyle. Like that don't have nothing to do with them loving themselves. You'll be surprised at just the little things. Think about you when you were her age and the insecurities you had. You had the groups of girls, the girls who they daddy, well, I'm gonna talk about Miami. One group, they daddy sold dope. Another group was, they were like the bougie girls. Then you had the jocks, the girls that love to play basketball. They was into sports and stuff. Then you had the tomboys, the tom girls like myself, right? And out of all of that, there's nothing wrong with that, but we all had certain insecurities. We just did. People have insecurities. But a lot of times, especially in this day and age, these kids like, I need a therapist. Oh, I need medication. I'm like, you need medication? They already got issues, much less to add on to the fact that they having problems with their identity. It is our job to teach our children their identity. It is our job to teach our children how to have self-love. That's the only way you're going to be able to give it. Now, I can tell you, for me, growing up, I did not have self-love. I had a lot of self-hatred. I hated that I was dark-skinned. I did not like my nose. It was certain things that I just did not like about myself. And it took me a long time to embrace my natural beauty. A very long time. Maybe, I think I did it when I turned 30 years old, right? And so that's a whole nother story that I always tell all the time. But the point that I'm making is, it's like a marriage. You don't need to be fighting about money. You got your marriage, when you first get married, you don't need to add anything extra, because you're both cleaving together. You're getting to know one another, and you're, developing this strong, powerful relationship. Whereas the same thing, believe it or not, when it comes to a child, they don't need anything extra. They're already going through peer pressure. They're already going to trying to fit in. They're trying to be like everybody else. Some kids manage to be by themselves and have their own individuality, and they're happy. But a lot of times that's not the case. And a lot of times kids feel left out. And that's how we create narcissists. Believe it or not, that's how we create promiscuity, right? That's how we create people pleasers. We create those things because we don't get to it from the beginning. So I pray that this live video helped you guys. And Dawn wasn't able to show up. I wasn't able to speak to her today, so I wasn't really sure. I think she was traveling. So we'll most likely be able to see Dawn next Sunday on Beauty Pioneers, 7 p.m. always. And don't forget to check out my, I'm doing an extended version of my twist on this very subject on Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist this Monday at 10 a.m. So it's already uploaded and ready for you guys to watch. And if you are looking for consultations, right, where you want to find out about your hair, you want to restore your hair, you might be dealing with issues, or even your young ladies, the link is in there for you guys on Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist for you to be able to set up a consultation. And I am opening it up during the week, ladies. So for those of you who have been like, Lee, I can't do the weekends, I need the weekdays when those kids are in school, I am now opening that portal. All right. So I pray again that this video has blessed you. Don't take it the wrong way that it was a bash video. No, it was for you to open your eyes. You know what your child needs. You know what you need as an individual too. Don't just look at the young girls. I wanted to point it out, but even yourself, if you're one of those people that 80% of the time you in hair extensions and 20% you wear your natural hair, you're doing something wrong, and it's going to catch up to you, like those young ladies was telling you. By the age of 30, they were losing their hair. So again, I will see you guys next week, 7 p.m. on Beauty Pioneers and Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist. See you guys soon. Bye.